FIFA has some very strict rules for international football, but there are some loopholes that have made it possible for certain players to play for more than one nation at the senior level, and some of them are at the ongoing World Cup. Who are some of those guys? We'll find out in this video today. These are 10 players at this World Cup who have played for 2 different countries. We'll start with Declan Rice. He seems like a true patriot and a real representative of what an excellent English player should look like, but what people don't know is that he only just switched to the Three Lions in 2019. Prior to that time, he was playing for the Republic of Ireland. Despite having been born in London, Rice chose Ireland because of his grandparents. He went through the Irish youth system and debuted for the senior team in March 2018. That same year, England approached him and tried to get him to switch, and he really started to think about it. In February 2019, he made the decision to switch to England. It was confirmed by FIFA in March, and he made his debut that same month against Czechia in Wembley. Since then, Rice has become a staple in the England first team regardless of which manager is in charge. From putting up an "up the RA" comment on Instagram in 2015, which many English folk found offensive, Rice has now grown to be one of the captains of the national team. But before Rice made his big switch, Denzel Dumfries had already done it. You see, the Real Madrid man was born in the Netherlands, but he was eligible to play for Aruba and Suriname through his parents. He initially chose Aruba, and he made his debut for their senior team in March 2014, even scoring a goal for them a few days later. However, in 2016, he made the decision to switch to the Netherlands, and for that, people in Aruba called him a traitor. He did not immediately make his debut for the Dutch first team though. He had to bide his time in the under-21s for 2 years before getting his first call-up to the senior team in 2018. Fast forward to 2026, and he's a very vital member of that Netherlands squad, having directly contributed to 5 goals in 7 World Cup games, a very fantastic return for a defender. And you know what? This is a similar story to that of Dodi Lukebakio. He is at this World Cup with Belgium, but he could easily have been here with a different team. He was born in Belgium to a Congolese French father, so he could have chosen to play for any of those nations at the international level. Well, he initially chose DR Congo, making his debut for their senior team in 2016. But that was his first and last game for the Congolese team, as he would switch allegiances to Belgium the following year. But just like Dumfries, he had to first do a couple years with the under-21s before then earning his first call-up to the senior team in 2020. Now, he's at the World Cup with Belgium, and there's still a very small chance that he could go up against DR Congo in the knockout rounds. Now, while Lukebakio switched from DR Congo to Belgium, Joris Kayembe did the exact opposite. He was born in Brussels and started out playing for Belgium. He went through the youth teams and eventually got his first team debut against Côte d'Ivoire in 2020. But in 2023, after having played a couple games for the Belgian first team, he decided he was done. He's of Congolese descent, so he chose to switch to the Central African nation. He has now played at 2 AFCON tournaments and was a part of that DR Congo team that made history against Portugal by getting its first ever World Cup point. Now, a guy who made a switch more recently is Brahim Diaz. He was born in Madrid to a Moroccan dad, so he always had the option to represent either of those teams at the international level, and well, initially he chose Spain. He played for different levels of the youth team and then made his senior team debut in 2021. Interestingly, he only got that chance because much of the first team had to be isolated after Sergio Busquets tested positive for COVID-19, so players from the under-20s were called up to the senior team. Brahim was one of those players. He made an appearance in that game against Lithuania and even scored a goal, but he never got another call-up. After waiting and waiting, he finally decided to switch to Morocco in 2024, making his debut in March. He has since gone on to make history for the North African nation, becoming the first player to score 5 goals in 4 consecutive AFCON games for Morocco on his way to winning the Golden Boot. He is now at this World Cup and is already making a huge impact for the team with 2 assists in his first 2 World Cup games. Now, there's another player who has played for Spain as well as an African team. Do you know who we're talking about here? Take a guess in the comments, we'll see if you're right soon. While you're there, if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, go do that right away so you never miss out on our amazing content. Done? Okay, let's now get back to the video. Let's now talk about Hannes Delcroix, a player who only just made his switch last year. He was born in Haiti, but he moved to Belgium at a very young age and grew up there. he decided to represent Belgium on the international stage, going through different youth levels and making his first team debut against Switzerland in November 2020. Knowing that it would be difficult for him to get further caps with Belgium, he decided to switch to Haiti in 2025. And well, he was part of the team that helped the nation secure qualification for the World Cup for the first time in over half a century. He would go on to play the full 90 minutes in the losses to Scotland and Brazil as Haiti's World Cup fate got sealed even before the final game of the group. Nikola Katic is another guy at this World Cup who made a switch recently. He was born in Bosnia and Herzegovina but is ethnically Croat. He started out playing for Croatia and made his senior team debut in a 2017 friendly against Mexico in the United States. Fast forward to 2024, he decided he was going to switch to his country of birth, and he went on to make his debut for Bosnia and Herzegovina in June of that same year. 2 years later, he's representing them on the biggest stage. And it's almost the exact same story with his teammate Ivan Šunjić. He too was born in Bosnia and Herzegovina, but is of Croatian descent. He moved to Croatia as a kid and was involved in different levels of the Croatia youth system, even captaining the under-21s at the 2019 Euros. He would then go on to make his first team debut in 2017, also in that game against Mexico in the US. But just like Katic, Šunjić also decided to switch to his nation of birth in 2024 and is now at the World Cup with Bosnia and Herzegovina. Now, remember we said that there's another player who played for Spain as well as an African nation? Of course it's Inaki Williams. He was born in Spain to Ghanaian parents, but he initially chose to represent Spain at the international level. He made his debut for the first team in May 2016 and was even named in the standby list for Spain's Euro 2016 squad. All the while, the Ghana national team was trying to get him to switch, but he said in 2021 that his culture is in Spain and he would not want to take the place of another person who feels 100% Ghanaian. Well, guess what? The very next year, he switched to Ghana and went to the World Cup with them. This is now his second World Cup outing with the Black Stars. Finally, Brian Gutierrez is another player who has been capped by two different national teams. He was born in the US and made appearances for the youth teams at different levels. He then made his debut for the US MNT in 2025, going on to play 2 games against Venezuela and Costa Rica. But ahead of this tournament, he turned down the opportunity to represent his country of birth at a home World Cup and switched allegiances to his ancestral country, Mexico. It is now time to hear from you guys. Are there more players who have played for 2 different countries at the senior level? Tell us in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on new content. Catch you in the next one. Bye. It's here. The Goal 90 Mastery Mat has landed, built for the next generation of footballers. More control, faster feet, sharper confidence. With the Goal 90 app, every session is guided, every touch has purpose. Train at home, train every day. Level up in just 20 minutes. Launch offer is live. 30% off, plus free worldwide shipping. Don't miss the drop. Order now at Goal 90 Shop.